Are you tired of losing your creative work to those unexpected disasters? Say goodbye to those heart wrenching moments and hello to peace of mind. Join us as we unveil a guide to content backup, your passport to safeguarding your passion projects. From photography for portfolios to video masterpieces, we've got you covered with our top tips and techniques. Don't let those lost files ruin your creative journey. Tune in now and protect your passion with some expert advice.
Welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here we are all about encouraging the three C's, connecting with others via video, a content development that builds your personal brand, and creators sharing their experiences despite their distance.
Friends, the C3 team member leading this evening is Kevin, also known as ClasicMac to his online community. He is a strong advocate in finding low-cost tools to help you in your live streaming journey.
So, I have a question for you two. Do you currently have a backup plan for all of your data and streaming assets? And should a disaster happen, like if your computer crashes, your house goes up on in fire, could you still continue on with your live streaming journey? So, why don't we head over to Dory first?
So, actually, I do have several methods of backup for my content. Um, some methods that I use currently are some external SSD drives and some cloud backups. So for my Mac, which is my streaming setup here in my studio, I have everything going to an SSD for Time Machine backup, and that happens every night. And then I also have it going out to the cloud. And one of the reasons I have it doing both is because it also helps with syncing information across my multiple devices. So I get a 2-for-1 deal on that one. Manny, how about you?
My gosh, I'm like completely opposite of everything you just described. No, I don't back up anything, but I'm not saying I don't think it's important because there are going to be moments here before I know it that I will have to. So the timing of this is very, very important. But when it comes to backup, like even my phone, I just recently did a hard reset, thinking I wanted to start from scratch. And I didn't back up stuff, and of course, I had that regret, right? Like, oh man, I should have backed this up. What did I went through those motions. But when it comes to like some of the things that Dory described there, I am way behind on that. But you were asking if everything was a disaster happened and computer crashes, could I still continue on with my live streaming journey? To answer that question, I don't see how I could not because of all the way I'm creating my stuff, like Canva, right? If something crashes, I still have everything on Canva. Google Docs and graphics there. I still have everything there. If I lost my download folder, yeah, I would have to start from scratch there. But at the same time, I'm not feeling overwhelmed with the idea that I may have to start from scratch in that aspect. But as content creators, I'm a person who likes a lot of fresh starts. But I can tell you there is a lot of times when I go looking for something, where is that file that I wish I saved? Where's all those images that I wish I saved? Oh, I reset and I didn't back it up. Now it's gone. So yeah, there are those moments that I would like to avoid because there's always that possibility that it can happen, which is why I'm looking forward to this great content because what are some of those great ways that we can back up our content? And the fact that you're talking about for content creators, you're not talking about for retail customers, you're not talking about for stores and business to business type stuff. You're saying, hey, as content creators, how are you backing up your assets? Am I correct?
You
That is
absolutely
why
are.
I'm So as I'm thinking this and as I'm sharing, I'm like, man, there are some things that I would not want to lose. I would not want to start all over to do. My friends, if this is the type of content that you'd like to see more of, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you do get notified whenever we go live. On to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, Danny. Definitely going to be talking about with a content creator focus on it. But as we know, there's so many computing devices out there. So I'm going to be focusing on PC and Mac as well. So when I was doing some of my research, it's like, I know Dori, and now that you've moved over to a Mac, Manny, you're looking for those types of tools that are very Mac friendly as well. And believe me, there's some good tools out there. And as you say, low cost. Some are absolutely free to use. So we always like that free, or that four-letter F word. All right, let's just jump on in. So yeah, we're going to be looking at effective data backup strategies for your security of your assets, which is super, super important during your live streaming journey. So the benefits of having a backup strategy and having a robust backup strategy is essential for safeguarding your data and ensuring your business continuity. Because essentially, content creators, we're running our own business here. So let's explore the benefits of having a backup plan. Number one, data recovery. So having regular backups acts as a safety net in case of an unforeseen power outage, cyber attacks, accidental deletions, which unfortunately has happened to me a couple of times, natural disasters, hardware failures, or data corruption, which actually is quite common. And having those backups ensure that you can recover those critical files promptly. Um, sort of business continuity, helping your brand continue to keep going without any uninterrupted operations. Um, Even if something happens to your data, losing important files without a working backup, you can severely impact your team's ability to operate efficiently and deliver your service. It's a cost saving as well. So creating and maintaining backups is significantly more cost effective than recreating lost files from scratch. Basically, look at the time that you're spending recreating those assets. So having a backup to be able to go and grab it, like Manny, you were saying, having it up in Canva to be able to go and grab it again instead of having to recreate the wheel and recreate that asset. And also potentially avoid hefty legal fines with associated with permanently losing customer or employee data as well. And of course, to go along the legality of it, uh, there's some compliance for having backups as well. Some regulations, such as HIPAA and GDPR, require some of the businesses to have up to date backups of user data. So if you're dealing with customers, you need to keep a backup of that information for legal reasons. And number five, and the most, reduced stress. Regular backups provide peace of mind to everybody involved. And knowing that those files are recoverable in case of an incident reduces pressure and boosts morale during crises as well. And we're going to go into explaining what the 3-2-1 backup strategy is. And I know Dori is quite familiar with this, and she's actually implementing some of it right now. The 3-2-1 backup strategy is widely recommended approach for data protection and disaster recovery. It emphasizes redundancy and ensures that your critical data remains safe in the event of something unexpected happening. So the 3-2-1, the three copies of the data, maintain three separate copies of your most important data. Copies include the original data, the one that you actively use, a local backup, which can be like on a external hard drive, and an offsite backup, which could be a cloud-based service. Two different, the two of the 321 is two different media types. So use two different types of storage media for your backups. For example, combine an external hard drive, your local backup, with cloud storage, your offsite backup. This diversification reduces the risk of simultaneous failure due to one single type of media issue. And then the one of the 321 is one offsite backup. Keep at least one backup copy off-site, away from your primary location. Cloud storage services, remote servers, or physical backup stored at a different location are suitable options. So, like in case there's a flood, a local disaster, a fire, your offsite backup remains safe. And that actually did happen to me and my company back in 2013 when the floods happened in Calgary here. We had our data off-site, so we didn't have it primary at our building because our building was actually shut down and we didn't have access to it. So the data was off-site and also up in the cloud, so we were able to access the information that we needed. So that is a very brief overview of what 321 strategy is, if you've ever heard those terms before. Now, just going to explain a little bit about what types of backups there are. There's three different types. There's what's called a full backup, differential backup, and incremental backups. Full backup is a complete replica of all of your files, whether it be your assets, your Word documents, your bill of sales, your invoices. If you do a full backup, it's comprehensive and there's no data loss. But the con to that is it requires more storage to be able to save all of that. Differential backups. These are backups that have changed since the last full backup. So it basically goes back and restores all of your files since the last full backup, and it's faster than a full backup, but it still requires significant storage. And sort of the quickest one is called incremental backups, where it backs up changes since the last backup, so full or differential. It's efficient and uses minimal storage. And the cons is it could take longer to restore. So those are sort of the three types if you are talking to somebody about backup types. So the best thing about the tools that I'm going to be talking about, it's automated. So once you set it, you can set it and forget it. Because the best part is you can select the folders that you want to back up on your computer, on your devices, and then you can forget about it. And then when something happens and you have to go and restore, you can just go right to that cloud service and restore if what you need. So effective data backup strategies, automated data backups. This concept ensures regular and automatic data backup for enhanced security measures too, because it's going to your personal cloud or your personal space that nobody else has access to. Offsite storage solutions. Storing data in an offsite location provides an extra layer of protection against disasters. Regular backup monitoring and testing. And this is the important part, that if you are doing these backups, consistent monitoring and testing of the backups ensures data integrity and quick recovery. So if you're saving your assets up to the cloud, every once in a while, go up there and see whether you can actually still open and recover some of those files. because if you upload a corrupted data file, you're going to download a corrupted data file. So make sure that the files that you're uploading are working. So now let's jump into the tools that we can use for this backup process. So we're going to first look at the Mac data backup strategies and tools. Number one, iCloud. It's free with every Apple account. And next slide I have coming up actually gives some other price information about it as well. And number two, Google Drive for desktop. It's free with a Google account, and there's options to pay for larger storage amounts as well. And like I said, you're able to choose the folders on your computer to sync up with the Google Drive or back up to Google Photos and access all of your content directly from your PC or Mac. And you can add both your devices like your iPad or iPhone or Android phones as well. So it's cross-platform backup as well. And then the third one I was looking at, I was just looking online. I haven't actually used this. Was EaseUS to do backup, but they're definitely recommending it as one of the top 5 type of cross-platform backup tools. So, iCloud. When you sign up, you get a free 5 gigs of space, and it does that automatic syncing for you with your devices. So you have space for your photos, files, backups, and more. And then if you're actually needing more space, you also get more features as well. Like if you want to pay 99 cents a month, and I believe these are Canadian prices when I was doing my research here. So might be a little bit less for you guys. But yeah, it does the automatic syncing across every single pay structure there. But what really happens is if you have further services that you would like automatic syncing, iCloud private relay, you can keep your Safari browsing private. You can hide your email, custom email domain, HomeKit secure video, and family sharing. So if those are of interest to you, they have different sizes and different prices per month. So just go to the Apple website and check out the iCloud price structure. And along with iCloud, Google Drive, there's a free level as well. So when you sign up with the Gmail account, you can get 15 gigs per user for storage space. And yeah, once again, if you want to get more, you can head over to that Google table and check out the different price plans and see what is most affordable. But I wanted to provide you with the free versions that provide you some space to get you started. And then the third one, which unfortunately I could not find anything free for EaseUS for Mac, except a free trial. So you have a free trial to see whether this is actually worth you spending the money for that backup. But essentially it does the same thing. It backs up your data from your computer to the cloud. Then we'll move on to the PC data backup strategies and tools. So similar to iCloud with Apple products, OneDrive for PC products are out there. And like I said, the last two, Google Drive and EaseUS, they are cross-platform. So decided to put them both on here as well. And for OneDrive, like I said, sign up with a Microsoft account. It's free, and you get 5 gigs of free cloud storage and 15 gigs of mailbox storage as well. So, and it works on Mac, works on Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. So if you didn't want to use the uh, iCloud, you could use OneDrive on your iOS devices as well, which I thought was kind of interesting that Microsoft's crossing that platform to Apple. But yeah, once again, OneDrive photo and file backup across all of your devices. Um, and you can have access everything through the web and mobile versions. So like you have access to your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, OneDrive, and other apps. But it does provide you with that storage for your assets as well. And then similar to the Mac portion, Google Drive for desktop. Once again, you just go in and select the folders that you want to back up. So if you have your assets all in your documents folder, you can just go and select that documents folder or your downloads folder. Like Manny, you're saying that you would be lost if you didn't have your downloads folder backed up. So yeah, definitely select that. And then anything that you download, it'll sync. And then you have access to all of that information. And then once again, that Ease US. Once again, I'm not as familiar with this, but it was listed as one of the more recommended apps to do data backup on your computers. And then some of the best practices. So regular backups are essential to prevent that data loss and ensure business continuity. So don't risk it. Some other best practices: have regularly scheduled backups. Like Dori, you're saying, you have it daily, which is very, very important. If it's very, very important information for you, you can almost do it hourly or change the times that you want everything to be backed up. And like I had said, test your restores periodically. Make sure that the files that you're uploading aren't corrupted and are not damaged at all. Sort of data or garbage in, garbage out kind of mentality. If you're uploading bad stuff, you're going to download bad stuff. And so you just want to make sure that your assets and everything, whether it be your music, your graphics, your configuration for Ecamm or your configuration for vMix or OBS, keeping a file of that every once in a while, just so that you do have something in case your computer decides to crash and you have to reinstall everything. Hey, you have that one file up in the cloud that you can download, and you're not starting from scratch, but at least you can start with a certain template. Encrypt sensitive data as well. Putting it up there, it's in your own personal cloud that nobody should have access to be able to see. So if you have like customer invoices that you're sending out, that needs to be off of just your hard drive on your computer. And keeping multiple copies in different locations as well. It's like the 3-2-1, making sure one of those is off-site, just in case of a local disaster. And then update your backup strategy as needed. Like for instance, if you're doing an external hard drive and that hard drive ends up filling up, then you're going to have to put another hard drive. But what do you do with that original hard drive that's full of data? Well, you could find some storage location up in the cloud and upload it to that, or just find a different offline storage solution. Perhaps you have a network attached storage solution that has multiple terabytes of space, and you're able to move that data from that external hard drive to your network attached storage or your NAS. So data backup is crucial to preventing loss and ensuring that your business and your brand is continuing. So implement regular backups, store your data securely, and testing and restoration processes are essential best practices, and doing that frequently throughout the year. So thanks for letting me share a few of these tips and strategies on saving your hard work and your assets. And hopefully, I've made you think about the backup plans you have for all your hard work and put into building your assets and on your live streaming journey. Now, I'm definitely going to put some links into our chat here. Dori, if you want to put some of the links, I actually have a couple links to to the OneDrive and to the Google Drive for desktop. If you actually want to download those and install them and start backing up your data. And like I said, it's free for if you have a Gmail account or if you have a Microsoft account as well. So why don't we head on back to visit with Manny and Dori and hear what kind of plans that they already have. They've shared a little bit and see if there's anything new that I mentioned today that they are going to implement into their new backup strategy.
Well, I'm working on putting the links in here right now. I will say that, there were a lot of important takeaways, Kevin, not just mentioning the names of the tools, but specifically the strategies that you talked about that I thought were really, really key. So I personally have never used or heard of the Ease Us. So I'm definitely going to click on that link and check it out. I don't know. I would have to do a cost comparison to see what that is compared to like the iCloud backup option that I use. But I do use iCloud and I do use Google Drive religiously. At school, I do have access to OneDrive as well because we're a PC based school. So I do have access to that. I don't use it for my personal stuff, however. I just use that at school. I'm not sure why, but
Yeah, I was just also going to ask you because you had mentioned your time machine before.
mhm.
You use that for your backups, but you have that pointing to an external hard drive.
I have that going to my SSD. Yep.
Okay, because yeah, I think it was back in 2018. Apple actually stopped providing that service of that time machine backup. So I was just curious where that actually you're able to go in and configure and redirect where that backup goes.
You can you can schedule that. I guess it's not called Time Machine anymore. Old school Mac user here, sorry.
Yeah.
But I do have it set up to do backups. I'll have to check my settings as to how specifically I have that happening. Um, but yeah, I do have it set up to send to, I have two SSDs, the small ones, attached to my computer. One of them is strictly for backups, and then the other one is for my video content, which goes directly to that SSD as well. So that's not being saved on my machine. Um, but yeah, I've always had that backup set up. Now you have me questioning. Now I'm going into my settings. Um,
So,
um,
but for putting that video on the SSD, is that just so that your computer has better performance by not filling up space with the videos?
Two reasons. One, I like to keep a raw copy of my video files just in case I ever want to do something different with them. So once I edit and process, then all the raw footage goes onto the SSD, and then my finished products get uploaded into my cloud server. So I tend to have two versions. And like Manny said, every once in a while it does require like a reset, else my God, I'd have like 20 SSDs attached to my computer down there. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I every once in a while I will purge those if it's really old content that I don't ever see a need for. But there's just part of me, I guess maybe because I'm old school, like I want to go back and see my journey. And so I keep certain video files from like way back in the day. And then I compare it to what I'm doing now. Like, what are the things I'm doing the same? What are the things that I've completely changed? So that's kind of why I keep it. Maybe it's for nostalgia reasons, but I don't know. Um, But yeah, I
But you can also
do.
look at your studio setup as well as like your lighting upgrades as you've gone through your journey as well.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, Victor is mentioning to us. He says, I heard of ESUS, was looking into it years ago for data recovery, but never had time to get into it much. They have a few different apps. Okay, cool. I definitely want to look into it now for sure. The only other thing that I wanted to draw attention to was what you mentioned, Kevin, about encrypting your data, especially if you're putting it out onto a cloud server, and especially if you're someone who's working with other clients, to ensure that that just extra level of security with things like client lists and phone numbers, email addresses, and things like that. I just think that that's really important, and I think that's something that isn't talked about enough, because content creators think like, oh, well, that doesn't apply to me. I'm just making videos, or I'm just making blog posts. But really, data encryption is important for a lot of different things. And that actually, seeing Victor's name, Victor is like an expert when it comes to all that kind of data stuff. So that was perfect timing, Victor, that you came in and dropped that comment. Manny, how about you? What do you think?
A lot of this I had heard of, except that E's US. Um, I've only used Google Drive. Like Google Drive, I that's the only thing that I even have that has like a terabyte or 2 terabyte, whatever they come with the paid, the pro, whatever it is. But if it's one thing I have learned from tonight's presentation, I should be using more, if nothing else, to save stuff I don't want to lose, like videos, like different content that can take up space and take up a lot of space, because video takes up a lot of space. So all the songs that I have, I should have that on an external device so I don't have to worry about taking up space. And there's that secure aspect of it, not losing it, always having it. So that was a big takeaway for me, is that I should go to help to save myself a lot of space on my laptop and just start using an external drive. And iCloud, I actually, because I have a Mac, but I don't use that thing at all. OneDrive, I am starting to use it more because I'm starting to use a lot more Microsoft 365 products. And so that's one of the products that, we use at the office. And so now with all of this, this is definitely some great stuff as to what I should be doing a little more to even protect the stuff that I don't want to lose. See, I am one that I delete a lot of stuff. Fresh start, delete, takes up space. I'm not going to use it again. You know, I don't really use it again after I repurpose it the first time. So I really not had a reason to. I'm not the most organized person. So to me, get rid of it. I haven't used it in a year. I don't need it. Get rid of it. So that's kind of how I operate with a lot of my assets, as I would say. But there are some assets I don't want to lose. I always want to have. Those are the things that, as I was describing earlier, like, man, if I did lose that, that would suck, because these are different assets that I've paid for, I have rights to, things that I've created, and so that's where that was how you really put a really big reminder of, what if you lost this type of stuff when you could have easily had been backing the stuff up this whole time. Because truth is, there's no cost to back something up to Google Drive, right? Granted, if my clients are sending me videos, I say Google Drive. We easily all have access to it and stuff like that. Outside of that, I really don't use, other than, hey, you want to share a big file, go save it there, and then we both have access to it. Outside of that, I've not seen any reason to back up, other than now you're reminding me, like, but what if you did lose these type of assets when I could have just had it all along right there? So great share on all of that, because it's a constant reminder, even for those who are not always so, I need to be secure, I need to be secure, I need to be secure. This was a friendly reminder of how easily you can be secure and not spend a bunch of money. So thank you. That was awesome. Awesome.
That was awesome.
Also, pro tip: it's free to sign up for Gmail accounts and Microsoft accounts, and it's five gigs or per Microsoft account, and so, and I use about 4 or 5 different Gmail addresses, so I have storage on all of them as well.
Way to work the system, Kevin. I
Way to
just
save
wanted
money.
to. Victor shared his setup. He keeps his personal data in house on SSD and a NAS. And for work, they use servers and moving everything to OneDrive. That's interesting. I don't know if I should maybe think about looking into OneDrive a little bit more. I just feel like it's one more thing I have to access, but I wonder if it's worth checking out. I just wonder if it's worth checking out.
Well, you
I
can,
have a
since you're a
Microsoft
Microsoft
account.
shop at work, you could have all of your work onto OneDrive and then all your personal stuff to Google or iCloud.
Yeah, see, at work, so at work, we have access to OneDrive, we being the adults in the building, but the students do not have OneDrive. They use strictly Google because aside from my classroom where they have access to actual computers, the rest of their day they are on Chromebooks. So I have OneDrive because I have a Microsoft account, because I still teach Microsoft, because we still need to teach Microsoft.
Yeah.
But outside of my room, the kids don't access Microsoft. They don't log into it. They don't do anything like that. So, Victor, actually, this just made me chuckle when I read this
I love
comment.
that.
So Victor utilized YouTube as free storage. That's smart. Really, really smart. Yeah, and makes the most sense because you can still just direct people to links. And if it's something you don't want the public to see, you just put it as unlisted or private and you still have it. And then nobody else does. That's actually a really smart strategy. Okay, so Victor's saying at work, they're moving all to 365. They get OneDrive and a terabyte. So I'm wondering if that's the difference between having that personal Microsoft account versus the business one, Kevin. Like when you showed us Copilot, there were differences in the two account settings. So I'm wondering if, Victor, can you confirm is your Microsoft account a business level account or is it still a personal? Because I think that's probably where we'll see the difference in storage. But still, 5 gigs is nothing to sneeze at all. I mean, you could do a lot with 5 gigs. So, or just have
Yeah, I'm
7
actually
Gmail addresses.
I'm just pulling up the price plans here, and yeah, the free personal one, and then next up is $19. Well, this is Canadian again. $19 a year for the Microsoft 365 Basic, and it is for 100 gigabytes of storage, and 1 terabyte would be the Microsoft 365 Personal, and that one is about $80 per year Canadian. And then up to 6 terabytes would be the Microsoft 365 family. That's just like 110 Canadian per month or per
Okay.
year. Sorry.
Yeah, so Victor said he has business for work and personal, and he said like E3. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be curious to see what my storage is on my personal account, because again, I don't really look at it. So I'll update you guys when I log into my personal account and let you know how much is there. But and Manny, you're using a business level Microsoft account at the office now, right? So I mean, OneDrive might be something beneficial for you to look at then. So especially if you're going to start using Copilot a little bit more for the AI stuff. So it could be a Mac girl here saying Microsoft could be your one-stop shop. You heard it here first, everybody. You heard it here first. All right, I think we're going to bounce over to Kevin to give us some parting words.
So, speaking of saving assets, have you saved your music as well that you play during your streams or use during your video editing? And is it copyright free? That's the big question. If not, did you know that you can create some copyright free music using AI? And take a look at the episode I did on showing you how to create your own music. Even if you are not a musician, you still can create some awesome beats. And it was it was last year, June 4th in 2023. And the title of it was called Creating AI Beats Using AI to Create Copyright Free Music.
And I am dropping the link right now.
There we go.
So, if you enjoy content like this and are finding it useful, we here at C3 would love it if you would like and subscribe. Sharing our content is also an amazing way to spread the love. Visit our website for information on all the ways that you can connect with us at linktr.ee/content creators connect. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Drop down in the comments below and let us know what kind of content you would like to see us produce in the future, because as you know, we are here to help you on your content creation journey.
Thank you so much for joining Content Creators Connect, aka C3, tonight, as we saw Kevin talk about essential backup strategies. And my gosh, it was some great content. We will return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will share with you 3 effective ways to engage your audience. We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and X, so be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to identify and lean into your 3 C's. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. See you next week. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.